The past is finally catching up with the present, and it's wearing a corset and playing games on and off the field. Elena's no longer just suspicious, and Stefan is done hiding. But the truth doesn't bring comfort, it brings consequences. Welcome back to Bloodlines and Backdrops, your Vampire Diaries watch with receipts. I'm your host, Amber Janae, and today with me, I've got the OG Vampire Stalker, Jessica Lowry.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. All right. Southern twang today?
Yes, of course.
All the time. She's got her sweet tea, guys. She's ready. She's got her sweet tea and the tea in this episode. Yep. That's what's going on.
We're ready.
Y'all, we have finally made it to Lost Girls. This is a great episode. This episode has it all. We've got some flashbacks this episode. We've got some serious emotional breakdowns, some surprise vampire transitions, maybe, and Katherine freakin Pierce, okay?
Yeah,
very excited about that. Yeah. Really, this episode, Elena's connecting the dots, you know. Vicki, she's barely hanging on, and Damon is in full chaos mode. So this episode is fire, and I say, let's get into it. So we finally meet Katherine. And I want to bring this up to you, Jessica, because I think it's important to note this, because this is a very big thing throughout the fandom. But we see that Stefan meets her first.
Yeah.
And y'all know, if you're listening and you're watching, you know, because the Damon fans will argue until they are blue in the face. And I love y'all. I do. That, hey, you know, she met him first, you know, blah, blah, blah. So,
I think she always planned to do it that way, though.
I also think
he was her favorite, but
yes,
she liked Damon too.
I think yes, and I mean I get it.
Yeah,
I mean I get it. I mean,
you can have both brothers.
Yeah, if you can have both, and there's not too much emotional damage, which there was, but if you could do it without the emotional damage,
right?
But I just thought that was interesting to point that out. But we meet her first because Elena runs to the house and she says, "What are you?" And Stefan's got the steak, and he's like, he's going to go take Damon out. And when he opens the door, that's when they go to the flashback. You think he's opening the door to Elena, but of course they're going to make us wait for that conversation. Now we see Stefan and Elena. There's a lot of back and forth, and I think both of us were talking about how it's kind of giving Bella, right? Because she's like, "No, you need to tell me," and he's like, "Girl, you know."
Right.
Like,
you know, but
you're
I'll
asking
tell
the
you
question.
Anyway.
You're asking the question, you know. And she's still like, "No, I want to hear it from you." And so he does. He tells her.
Yeah.
I mean, he tells her what she wants to hear. And he says that he's a vampire, and she runs away.
Right.
She gets scared and runs away.
She doesn't know if she can handle it. Yeah,
she's like, "I don't know if I can handle this." And he like stops her, and he's begging her not to run off. And she's like, "You got to give me time. Like, this is way too much right now."
She thought he was going to say, no, I'm not a vampire.
Yeah, and I don't know what she thought he was going to say that he was, because clearly she had made up her mind. She's been Googling this.
I think she wanted him to lie to her.
Yeah, or maybe she did want to lie.
You know how some girls, they know, but they don't want to know.
Right. That's true. I hadn't thought about that. So maybe she was, I don't know, but also, this is also a very good example of a woman's intuition.
Yes.
Like,
that's true.
When you know, you know. When you know something, you know something. Yeah. So... But sometimes you do hope for different. That is true.
Right. And the fact that he's honest with her matters in the end. So
yes.
Yeah.
So she runs back to her house. She's scared. She goes into her room. He begs her not to tell anyone. And that's when she runs off, all that stuff. She goes up to her room. Later in the episode, I kind of love it, but you do see him standing on the porch.
Yes.
Where he's kind of watching over her.
Keeping her safe.
Yeah, keeping her safe and all that, because Damon's still on the loose.
Right.
Yeah, so Damon's on the loose.
Yeah, and like you said at the beginning, here he was with the steak fixing to go take Damon out.
Yeah, he's ready to get taking Damon out. And too bad Elena stopped him, because Damon ends up murdering a lot of people.
Yes, he does.
So Stefan, I mean, not that Stefan was going to murder Damon, but maybe he could have, slowed him down a little bit, because you do see Damon going to the cemetery.
Yeah.
He got his fill, all right?
Mm-hmm.
He had a buffet. And somehow... Vicki still survives.
Yes.
Vicki is
She's
still
the only
over
drug
there.
Addict to make it out.
She is the only drug addict to make it out, because they're all like, I always wonder too, and I don't think they address this, but I wonder if he gets high from eating on someone that's high.
Oh, I don't think they ever go.
I don't think
over
they
that.
ever address that. I don't think they do. I know in different series, like if you watch like True Blood, vampire blood makes people high.
Right.
And then some human blood can make vampires
Well, they
sick.
talk about if they drink that it does. They do get a little drunk. They do say that. So
you do see that. I think Vicki kind of brings that up a little bit later. So yeah, okay, that's a good point. Yeah. So I wonder if Damon's like also like, all right, this is a little extra that I have to buy off the streets. Yeah. But so Vicki's alive for now. All right. So she does make it out. And so shortly after that, Stefan's like, just give me the day and I'll answer any kind of questions that you want.
Right.
So they meet at the Mystic Grill. He explains compulsion. And so she can understand what happened to Caroline.
Right.
And she's like, but you let him do that to Caroline? And he's like, I don't think you understand, Elena. He's
doing the best he can with Damon at this point.
I don't think you understand. He's really strong.
Yeah.
Stefan is
eating bunnies.
Yeah, he's trying. I mean, we saw earlier in the series, he couldn't even compel a half-sick Vicki. Right. So, yeah, he's trying to explain to Elena what's going on, but he's also like, I need you to take a step back because I'm a little bit different from regular vampires. Right. He says, can you give me the day? And I love this, too, because he says at the end of the day, it will be her choice. And this is also a theme throughout the series.
Right.
Because there's a lot of argument between Damon and Stefan down the road about her having her choice or her choice being taken. Yes. So this is like that first indication from Stefan where you see him coming in going, all right, I'm not going to make these decisions for you. I'm going to let you choose.
Yeah.
All right. So then the sheriff, she finds Vicki's things, but she doesn't find Vicki.
Right. So now they're wondering where Vicki went.
Yeah, so they don't know where Vicki is. They don't know if she's one of the burned victims. Right. At this point, they are saying vampire.
Yes.
And they're like, how do you know that? And they're like, well, there's no gun wounds. There's no knife wounds. Like, they're covering up their tracks.
It was at night.
And kind of at this point, they think vampires are like creatures.
Yes.
Like legit creatures.
Yeah.
Like they're looking for like hives and stuff. I think they've watched too much of the original Dracula. Yeah, I don't think that they've read enough journals.
Yeah. I don't think they know anything about how normal
just normal. But normal. We do see that here shortly, right? So, this is the part I wanted Jessica to talk about because they go out to the old Salvatore house, and you said that was in Porterdale.
Oh, yes. So the
area.
Okay, so when they go out to the old Salvatore and you see the area where it looks like it's the witches area and all the old fireplace type stuff, the way you would see it if it was the 1800s and the house that fell away. Mm-hmm. When they go there, that's actually in Porterdale, which is 5 miles down the street from here. So it's still considered to be Newton County, but it is Porterdale instead of Covington. So just in case if anybody ever comes and they try to find that. It's kind of hard to find on your own, but it is very easy to get there, if that can even be said. But yeah, so they filmed out there for all of that for the initial, and then when you see those same areas later on in the season, they don't go back there. They use the woods at the sound stages.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
but they do go back to Porterdale way long down the line because Porterdale becomes important in the originals.
Yes.
So you will hear about Porterdale again.
Yes.
But it is just a little neighboring town that's got some really cool stuff that they were able to use for filming a few times, I believe, throughout the series. So we see them get there. So with flashbacks again. And this is where she's playing football. Damon comes back from the war, and she starts playing. This is where I say she's playing them on and off the field because they start arguing over, not really arguing, but you can kind of see their budding brothers about who's going to take her. And then she's like, however am I going to choose? And you can see that she's starting to play with them at this point. And
she's toying with them.
Yeah, she's toying with them. And Stefan's 17 years old. He doesn't know any better. Like he's, this is probably the first like girl he's ever caught feelings for. And Damon probably knows a little bit better, but
I think he thinks that she really likes him better.
I do think he thinks that too. And I'm not sure how old Katherine is supposed to be.
Yeah.
I don't know if I remember at this point.
I don't remember.
If that is something that they talk. I know she was at least 18 when she turned. I know that.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure how old she's supposed to be.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
But we
I don't
also
think we've seen that yet.
This is also where Elena finds out that Stefan's been 17 since 1864.
Right.
So
Yeah.
she's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So the whole Katherine thing starts to make sense, right? So
Yeah.
you're like, oh, okay, it wasn't this girlfriend that you had when you were 14 years old.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
this girlfriend that you had 150 years ago.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So that starts to...
That you're still pining over.
that you are still pining over. Just a little bit. That is very true.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. Stefan makes a comment where he says, Damon doesn't get mad, he gets even.
Yes.
And that's very true.
That's very, very true.
And we saw that immediately in the last episode when he didn't even,
Yeah.
second thought killed Uncle Zach. Not
Yeah.
even a second
Boom.
thought.
That's it.
And I honestly think that, I mean, obviously the show, but there's a time or two you could tell he wanted to kill Elena.
Oh, yeah.
You could tell he really wanted to do it. So, yeah, he does. He gets
He
even.
only held out because she looked kind of like Katherine. That's it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's it. I think that's all that is. I think he really wants to know the connection.
Yeah.
He's curious because I don't think they even know about
Yeah.
why people look like each other at that point,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I don't think they figured it out.
I don't think so either. So we don't see Katherine bite Damon this episode, but we do see her bite Stefan.
Yes.
So I don't know who she bites first, but that's what we see first.
Right.
And of course, Stefan freaks the F out.
Yeah, he's like,
losing it.
Yeah.
Like he's like, absolutely not.
your face.
Absolutely not.
Your face.
So when you see that, I can understand why he'd want to hide that from
Yeah.
Elena.
Yeah.
And I'm actually very thankful that he didn't choose to tell Elena the way that Katherine
Right.
did.
Yeah.
But then she immediately had to compel him
Yeah.
anyways. So their
I think
relationship.
she liked that part of it. Though.
Yes.
I think that's the way she likes being a vampire.
I
That's
think
her
you're
way
right.
of
I think
toying
that-
with them, and
it's a way she could be both.
yes.
She's like, but now I can compel you and I'm a human.
I can have a little fun with it, but then I'll
And then
make it
I
okay.
gotta make you normal again.
Yeah.
Yeah, she is. She's
Yeah.
such a bitch. We love it.
Yeah.
Oh, we love Katherine.
We love
really
Katherine.
Do. We really, really do. So Logan's got the watch, and he's going around looking for vampires at this point. All right.
Spin, spin, spin.
And Damon hasn't turned to Vicki yet, but he has Vicki.
Right.
And this scene, fans be talking about this scene a lot
Yeah.
because they're dancing and
Damon dance.
Yeah, Damon's got
was
like
good.
his shirt off and he's got like his muscles showing,
Yeah.
and Vicky's in her underwear.
Yeah.
And they're all dancing around the
Having a
house
good
and they're like
time.
feeding off each other.
Yeah.
And also like it gets like pretty hot in there
Yeah.
between Vicky and Damon. I'm gonna be honest, like
Yeah.
when she was like, "You're really hot. How come you don't have a boyfriend?" I was like, "No, I think I also or a
Yeah.
girlfriend. I think I also would have asked him that question."
Yeah.
I'm like, "What's going on here? Are we getting married?" Wild. I
Yeah.
mean, I honestly.
How'd you get up there?
Yeah.
That's what I would have been doing. How'd you get
Yeah,
up there?
how'd you teach me that?
Yeah, let's
she
do
shoulda-
that.
She should have asked to do that first
Yeah.
thing. I would say at the time I would have shipped Damon and Vicky.
Yes.
I would have for a little bit
Yeah.
there, but yeah. So we had that. Move on to that. So they dance around, and then they're like messing up the house. They're doing all that stuff, and then Vicky kind of has a breakdown,
Yes.
and then she shows like emotions, and then that's when Damon can't handle it
Yeah.
anymore.
He's like, this ain't gonna work.
He's like,
Yeah.
I'm bored, and
I'm done.
You're whining, and I don't like it.
Yep.
So I'm just gonna turn you. So he snaps her neck right there, and then we just gotta wait. We
Yeah.
just gotta wait for her to wake up. So she does. She wakes up, and so at this point she hasn't fed. So and she doesn't really know that
Right.
she needs to feed.
She just knows she's hungry and she's,
Yes,
you know.
she's hungry, and that she makes a comment about her teeth hurting.
Yeah.
So she's like,
Everything's so loud.
yeah, everything's loud. My teeth are hurting. Like, nobody will shut up. Stop the chattering. Stop the whatever. So you know that things are starting to heighten for her.
Yeah.
So she shows up at Jeremy's, and they all think that she's high.
Yep.
And
She's
she's
just getting all the stuff out of the refrigerator.
everything that they've ever bought
Yeah.
in the last 3 years.
Yes.
It's so much
Yep.
food that she pulls out of
Yeah.
the fridge. I was like, I don't think, baby girl, have you seen
Yeah.
your waist? I don't think you've ever eaten that much in
Uh-uh.
your life. But she pulls out a lot of food.
Yes.
All right. And she's just like trying to figure out, like, she's hungry. But Stefan realizes, because Stefan and Elena come in, and that he realizes immediately that she's
Yeah.
in transition. And then he tells Elena what's going on.
Yeah. He's going to have to take care of it.
And now Elena's kind of irritated
Yeah.
because, she literally just found out about
Right.
vampires. She's like, I've known about this for 45 seconds.
And now this is affecting my brother.
Yes. And as we know, especially in these first few episodes, things can get a little, throughout the series, they can get Elena can come off a little selfish throughout
Yeah.
the series, but early on in the series, she was super protective of
Right.
Jeremy. Like,
Yeah.
very, very, very good big sister.
Yeah.
And so this devastated her. You
Yeah.
could tell. But this is when we were talking about this earlier. We were laughing about this. So Vicki runs out. You know, they're all trying to figure all that out. And then you get a knock on the door. And it's Damon. And Elena goes to shut the door. And Damon's like, nuh-uh. And he goes to push the door open.
Yeah.
And she just turns around and looks at Jeremy. And she's like, Jeremy, go upstairs. And he
Yeah.
goes, okay. I'm just... Listen, I
Yeah.
know we have said
I mean-
before that we will not nitpick the show. But I don't care if Jeremy is younger than her. He
Yes.
is a lot bigger than her. And honestly, I think he's bigger than Damon.
You'd think he would say, "No, dude."
Well,
Why
no,
you talking-
actually, I'll
You
just
know,
stand here while
she
you guys
said,
talk.
She said no, thank you.
Yeah, she
you
said
know,
no. Like, I
something.
don't think you should. No, actually, I think I'm gonna listen
But-
in. I think I'm gonna. I'm
Right.
gonna call the police.
I just want to
Do
make
you
sure
want me
she's
to?
okay.
Yeah,
Something.
very strange. But again, we're not gonna nitpick
Yeah.
it. Okay, just
Nope.
this is just between us.
She's the big sister, and that's what she said. So.
That's what she says. I guess what she says goes. That is
Yes.
true. That is true. I guess he just thought, okay, she must know this person and
Yeah.
everything's fine. But anyways, that cracks me up. Stefan does find Vicki, and he finds her crying in the woods. And at this point, the device goes off. So Logan Fell shoots Stefan.
Yep.
And
with the wooden bullets.
Yep, with the wooden bullets, which we know they said, which is so weird because they were like, it won't kill a vampire, but it'll
knock him back.
it'll knock him back. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I feel like if it went deep enough in the heart, it absolutely would
Yeah.
kill a vampire. But
Yeah.
which is kind of weird how they know what will kill a vampire, but they don't know where
Yeah.
or what they look like.
I don't think
Anyways.
anybody's ever killed one.
I don't think so either.
They've hurt one. Somebody at some point hurt one, and that's how they know that.
I
But
think
that's
that,
all.
and I think, or maybe that's something they've read in journals.
Yes.
I just think at this point, the council doesn't have access to the information in the
Right.
journals that they need because
Yeah.
they're missing out on a lot.
Because it goes down to family member, and I don't think that each family trusts the other family enough to share everything.
Yeah.
They share portions.
Portions. And we do see that because we find
Yeah.
journals in just about everybody's house
Yeah.
somewhere in the series. So that is true. So Logan Fell gets attacked and killed by Damon. Damon shows up to the rescue and
Yep.
helps out his bro. And then Vicki feeds on Logan. So now she is a vampire.
Yep.
She has transitioned. So we got to see what's going to happen with that. But Stefan has to break the news to Elena. And she said to him, I gave you today, like you asked. I know you're not going to hurt me and I'll keep your secret, but peace out.
Yeah.
She's like, this is too much for me.
And
'Cause,
it
you know,
would be. It would be for any.
it honestly would be because you went from thinking that your boyfriend's a vampire to now there's 3. You know, there's at least
Right.
3 vampires.
Yeah.
And you still don't know anything about them. I mean, I know that she says to him, like, I Googled it and garlic and mirrors and all that. And he answers like silly questions like that.
Yeah.
But that stuff's not the scary stuff.
No.
She literally knows nothing about
Right.
vampires.
Yeah, not
so,
yet.
well, she knows that all the animal attacks now
Yeah.
are vampires.
Yeah.
But she does not know enough. But yeah, she kind of breaks down at the end, and I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. And that's kind of where the episode ends off right there. So that is Lost Girls. What
Yes.
an episode.
And it was a good episode.
Such a good episode.
Yeah.
This episode really starts picking up the series.
Yeah.
I think every single series you watch, you have to give it the first few episodes.
Oh, absolutely. You have to give it that roll up.
They're starting to tell the story. There's
Yeah.
not a single writer out there that just off the bat is gonna. I mean, you'll get
Yeah.
hooked the first episode, but you're not going, "Oh, this is probably the
No.
greatest show
If
I've
you
ever
put
seen."
too much in the first episode,
Yeah.
then
You
there's
gotta,
no reason to watch the next week either.
and there's a lot of reason to watch this
Yeah, there is.
because it's just crazy the roller
Yeah.
coaster we're gonna go on. But yeah, this episode's so good. We're so
Yes.
excited. This episode's great. The behind the scenes stories that we share on this podcast are ones that we either experience firsthand or have been given permission to tell. Please don't repost or claim these stories as your own. This fandom thrives on respect and we want to keep it that way. Also, please keep in mind, we're going off memory here, all right? It's been well over a decade, so while we're doing our best to be accurate, we might get a few details wrong. A few of the small details could be off. And you know what? We do encourage you to feel free to message us very nicely if we've gotten something wrong. So at this point, we're going to go into our Covington connection, and we've got some juicy behind-the-scenes tea in this episode, all right? We actually see the Gilbert house a lot
Yes, we do.
in this episode.
Yes.
And I'm not sure we can talk about it when we get to the receipts. I know you saw a good bit of the next episode film, which I'm so excited for us to talk about. But in this episode, I wanted to bring this up. At the very end, when Elena slams the door in Stefan's face, that's actually shot at the sound stages.
Yes.
And there is a lot of times where Stefan's on the porch and they are at the Gilbert house.
Yeah.
And then she shuts the door and they're at the sound stage, but it looks like they're in the same spot at the same time.
Right.
And that's because, again, they didn't film inside of the Gilbert house. And the Gilbert house in real life, the inside, it looks nothing like Elena's house on the show.
No.
It's shaped different.
Yep.
It's very, very different on the
There's
inside.
not a stairway right there when you come in the door.
There is a stairway, but it's not,
it's not
right
there.
So, because it is a 2-story house, as you see all that stuff. But yeah, there's not a stairway. So they couldn't really do it like that. So it has to be like, oh, here's the stages. Here's
And you have to remember,
the
people
porch.
live in the houses. So
Yes.
it's okay to shut me down for a couple of days and we can't walk out on the porch.
Yes.
It's not okay for me to send my kids to the grandma's every single week for you
And
to
that was
film.
the thing too. So like Lockwood, for example, they don't have children.
Right.
So it's very easy for them to be like, oh yeah, y'all can come hang out with us as long as you want.
Right.
But the families that lived at the other houses, they had families, kids, things like that. Their regular 9 to 5, stuff like that. They didn't really want to be disrupted.
Right.
I also think, and if I remember correctly, there was a 72-hour rule on residential streets.
Yes.
So you could film for up to 72 hours, and then there had to be a 48-hour break, I think.
Yeah.
So you could film 3 of the 5 days on residential. You could film 5 all the time for the square or the park or something like that. But for the residential, it was.
And then I
pretty
mentioned
limited.
last time too that it was kind of neat because most of the time, if they had 2 episodes in a row that were going to be filmed, they would end in Covington and begin in Covington. That way they could get both episodes at the same time and then film the portions before and after at their sound stages.
And that's actually good that you brought that up, because I actually wanted to say Sweet Magnolias, again, is in town today.
Yes.
And I did 2 tours, and they were filming at 4 locations today.
See, that's crazy.
So it was so fun driving around. I saw Maddie for a minute, and over at Amici's, which is the pizza place here, they turned that into a library outside. So that was cute.
Yeah,
but
that
it was cool because they were filming at 4 different places, and I'm like, see, we're not lying when we tell you that sometimes they were filming at the gym and at Elena's house on the square, and we're on the phone going, hey, has anybody come out at the gym? Oh, hey,
get over here.
So and so just came out at so and so's house. I mean, we had a squad, we were each at a different location, so they did film at multiple locations at a time before. So the cemetery I want to bring up because you see the Salvatore crypt. And I want everyone to know that because they're partying in front of the Salvatore crypt. The cemetery is at the stages.
Yes.
So that pilot episode, you see that cemetery initially. That doesn't mean they don't use our cemetery at all. When they do, we're going to tell you about it. Right. But just not in this episode.
Yeah. And we have most of that stuff at the visitor center now. It's set up where you can get photos
like a mini
and
cemetery
stuff.
We
were able to.
It's really cool
to climb through and whatnot. And we have the front of the Salvatore crypt in the store. It's actually back here. I don't know if you can see it, but they'll probably show you a picture later. So,
but
where it
we'll
says
bring it
Salvatore,
down at some point.
So and it's just a big piece of styrofoam. If that's not just a neat thing to know. So it's
and some of it is, some of it isn't. We actually because we'll have to go around and we dust stuff around the visitor center and whatever, and we realized the Lockwood stone is heavy.
Yes,
that's one's heavy because they used it so much. But someone that didn't use as much might be made out of styrofoam. So when you go into the visitor center and you see the cemetery area that Jessica is talking about, first of all, she did a badass job putting that cemetery together. It's really cool. But
a lot of work.
Angel that the crow is on is made out of cement, or it's solid. It's very solid and heavy. We finally moved it over to the visitor center. We used to have it on the Coke machine.
Yes. For a long time it was in the store.
We hit our head on that so many times behind the jewelry counter. I'd be like, all right, guys, I'm done with this. And there's nothing I could do because it was so heavy. There's nothing I could do. But for this episode too, I wanted to bring up,
and I want to thank Shane Garner. Let me do that really
Yeah,
quickly. Shane Garner is actually a prop master in Atlanta that they got a lot of props from, and he was fabulous, and he actually allowed us to have that angel. So we appreciate you, Shane.
Yes, we appreciate that, Shane.
Yeah.
And maybe Jessica can reach out to Shane. Maybe we can...
I bet he would love to come on.
Get him to come on here and maybe tell us how he makes some of those props or something like that. Yeah, we'll have to do something like that. All right, now that it's on air and everybody heard me say it. So, just like the tattoo, we haven't forgot, Jessica.
Yes.
We haven't forgot about the tattoo.
I don't know what she's talking about.
We haven't forgot.
No.
I also want to point out for this episode, no Tyler, Bonnie, or Caroline in this episode at all.
That's so sad.
Yeah, so
I love Bonnie.
We were shorted then, but we're gonna get a lot of Bonnie the next episode.
Okay.
So we don't have to worry about that so much.
All right.
All right, so we have always got a few receipts, or we're going to try to have a few receipts for this. I'm going to let we got a couple of really cool things for this episode. So in the flashback, first of all, Damon's flashback hair is absolutely my favorite hairstyle in the entire series.
Yeah, it's good, except for we've got something coming up that we'll talk about later, and it's going to be super funny about Damon.
Yeah,
he's wearing a wig in that episode.
I love his hair, though. I love it.
It wasn't that good that day, but every other day it was great.
Yeah, every other time. Cause
I don't know why that day sucked, but it did.
Maybe it was the weather.
May have been.
Maybe. Or maybe it was just a bad wig. We know the Vampire Diaries does bad wigs.
Right. So.
Sorry, guys. We do. We all saw Elena's wig at the end. We're going to talk about it. We're going to call you out on it like the entire fandom has. So
we have a lot of the flashback pictures. So a lot of them, you'll notice they have little something written on the bottom or whatnot. They actually did these as photos to utilize throughout the series. You'll see them in different places. And this is just neat because this is the first time we actually see them wearing this clothing that you see.
And the reason
here.
they do like the 2.0, the 3.0 is because they're doing different filters. So they're trying to figure out like which filter. Okay, this is the third version. This is the fourth version. This is whatever version. And you'll kind of see is what they kind of do with this picture with Katherine as well.
This is neat because you can actually see how they started with just the plain paper, and then they start with the writing, and they start to distress the paper. So you kind of see us getting more and more. So
and they're distressing it. They're probably using tea, coffee, stain, anything like that.
You can
to
see
stain
they do a lot to get it to where they're like, that's it.
And so you imagine one photo that Damon's just going to pick up and says, "Oh, she's a dead ringer for Katherine." I mean, something that is not even in the episode that much, and they put this much time into making sure it's good. So imagine some of the stuff you see all the time. I mean, I bet it's a lot of work.
Yeah, it's a lot of work just to make the things that they might use.
Yeah,
you never know what's going to get used. But this is a good one of the actual Katherine photo. Now we have several of these, so we just pulled one, and you'll see it's actually bigger than that, and it's because it's one of the first ones, and it's on the board as they were trying to work it out, so to speak, to figure out which one they wanted to use and what size they wanted to use. But it's just neat to kind of see it together and see how they all come together to become what they are. And I mean,
see these side to
this
side,
you can just see. Look, you can tell that they've cut it there, so it's neat.
But there's just all these different versions.
But it's neat to see the different versions, and we've got a lot of this stuff as we go on. We've got the 10 photos from the flashbacks that we'll show when that episode airs. So
I told you guys Jessica's collection is wild.
Yeah,
and I also want to point this out. She forgot she had this.
Yes.
Like Presley, hey Presley. Presley's back here writing notes. Presley was the one that was like, "No, I swear to God, I saw it.
That one.
I saw it in this folder. I know I had it." So we actually started a little late tonight because they went upstairs to go through some stuff, and by God, she found him. So we did have it, and there we go. So thank you, Presley, for being so adamant about that. Well, and that's 5 boxes of stuff that we'll probably show at some other
eventually.
point.
I saw several things that I was like, oh, this is the next episode. Oh, this is 2 episodes from now. So, so we have a lot of stuff that we're just going to have to spend a day going through, too, so we can start marking it for the episodes.
We'll do that while you're on vacation.
So, please.
Yeah, we will. Because we're going to take a break from recording so Presley and I can try to find cool stuff to bring on. So we'll do that.
Okay.
All right, let's get to our MVP and our quote of the week. Now, for our MVP, I'm going to be honest with you guys, I couldn't really find someone this episode.
There was a lot.
Okay.
There was just a lot of stuff.
There was a lot of stuff going on. And then, like, the thing is, like, there's part of me that wants to say Damon for saving Stefan's life.
Yeah.
But then, like, he turns around and kills a lot of people. Right. So it is hard for me to give him the MVP. So I think for this episode, especially since we're missing a lot of characters, we're going to say no MVP this episode. Okay. But we do
I'll go with that.
We do have some good quotes for this episode. So I'm going to let Jessica do hers first.
All right. So mine it's a Damon quote. Did y'all know that was going to happen?
I think we all know with Jessica, it's going to be Damon, and Amber, it's going to be Stefan.
This is a good one, though. All right. I've been in love. It's painful, pointless, and overrated. And try again.
Yeah, try again.
I mean, it can't be that hard. He is hot as all get out. I mean, yeah.
I'm sorry, in 144. Let me
How many times have you been in love? That's what we need.
Let me help you with your Tinder profile, because I'm sorry. In 145 years, I'm sorry. Stefan told us you guys can see yourselves in the mirror.
Right.
He did tell us that this episode. So Damon, how good was Katherine?
Yeah.
They don't explain that. How good was it that you're holding out for? I mean, no, he's probably not holding out, but that you can't love someone else for 145 years. That's wild.
Right. Yeah.
That's wild. At least I hope he wasn't.
And that's
out.
a good quote. The fans like that quote a lot. It gets said a lot.
Yes, it does get said a lot.
So it does get used a lot in the fandom. So if it's one that sticks, then it's really good.
Yeah, maybe we'll put that one on a t-shirt.
Maybe.
All right. We're always looking for...
Y'all tell us.
Yeah, y'all tell us, because we're always looking for a new Damon quote to put on a shirt. And, you know, everybody does hello, brother.
Yeah.
Let's do something different. Like,
right. Yeah.
Y'all got a quote? Y'all got an idea for a shirt?
We got a new crop top right now. That's really cool.
Oh, yeah, that Damon one?
So, yeah.
Flying off the shelves, y'all.
So,
you got to check the website.
Yeah.
It is... I'm not even a Damon fan, and I like
Just
it.
hit that little shop button right there.
All right, my quote is, of course, it's Stefan, and he says, "Everything you know and every belief that you have is about to change. Are you ready for that?" Well, if I wasn't, it doesn't matter now, because you basically just insinuated everything that I just asked you. Yeah. Am I ready for that? I thought I had choice.
Yeah. She didn't have a choice.
She didn't have a choice in that, because what if she had said, "No, I don't want to"? That would bother you for the rest of your life. It does sound better if he asked you, but if she... There's no way at that point you're going to say yes. There's no one that would say no.
Right. No.
There's no one that would say, "Oh, no, I don't want to hear it. Never mind."
No. Now we want to know. We want to know what the secret is. We know how long it's been a secret, who made it a secret, why it was a secret.
Yeah, I've already got a group text. Yeah. Like, we've already got, like, there's a lot of things.
This is important.
There's a lot of information I've already given Bonnie and Caroline at this point that
we need to know.
You know, we're trying to figure out. Like, because let's be honest, the whole, like, Elena hasn't gone to her friends yet is... Probably. Yeah. That's kind of weird. Yeah. Immediately, I would go to at least 6 people if I thought somebody was a vampire.
Right. I'd be going, "Girl, don't be walking outside tonight."
I'm like, "Did you meet
I can't tell you why, but don't be walking outside."
You know that dude I've been on like 3 dates with? His eyes keep changing. It's really weird. I don't know. Like one
his
time,
eyes keep changing. That's
one time I pricked my finger and he was like licking it. It was really strange. I don't know. So... Oh, all right. This part of the show, I love this part of the show. We're doing the fan theories and throwback tweets. So for this one, it was actually just a couple of theories that I pulled out. And this was actually really, really cool. Because you got to remember, I'm pulling a lot of these from way back in. So these are first reactions, have seen nothing but up to this episode at this point.
2010.
Yeah. So, 2009, 2010, like... It's long time ago. We have people that work for us that I don't think were born yet. Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. They were born. Yeah, that was only 15 years ago. We're not that old, you guys. All right. Damon turning Vicki. I wonder if he would have turned her if she wasn't so depressed. Personally, I don't think so, because he didn't turn Caroline, though she would have been very annoying to put up with for all of eternity. It seemed like a part of Damon was helping her out in a strange, unrealistic TV show way. I have to tell you, I could not agree with this more, because if Caroline had not had character development before what happens to her happens, if Caroline would have been turned,
and we're not
who
saying
she is right now,
she ever is, but if she were,
absolutely not, she would have been so annoying.
Yes.
And Vicki was annoying. I mean, Vicki is going to get annoying the next episode, but
he knew she knew how to party though.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think that had a little bit of it.
I think that also, I did have a little bit to do with it. It did have. And I also think that it's kind of early to say this about Caroline because we didn't even see Caroline this episode. And then Damon is just now, you got to remember the last time that he saw Caroline was she was letting him out, and then she got out into the daylight before he could get in. And so, but I just love this because I do think Caroline would have been like the worst vampire at this point. I do agree with that.
Yeah.
And then I also like this one. Someone said, I'm so glad that Vicki did not feed on Jeremy to transition. Can you imagine how completely messed up Jeremy would be if he knew about vampires on top of everything else he's struggling with, and that the girl that he's so gone for is now an undead vampire? So I think it's a very good thing that was averted. I agree.
I agree with that.
I definitely agree with that because I think that would have meant we would have lost Jeremy early on. There's no way, because she feeds on someone that's dead.
Right.
So
and
it's,
she goes,
it's fresh
I'm
enough.
sorry. She says, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, but I don't think she would have been able to stop.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, because if you love someone, they say that it's stronger
it's
and
a lot
harder.
stronger. Yeah, for sure. So I do agree. I thought those were some good theories for this episode. So. All right, for our Brothers Bond moment, again, I just want to also remind everybody, we'll have the websites updated at this point. Make sure that you guys are watching the full episode on YouTube so you can see the Covington connection and the receipts. But of course, we're still on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and iHeartRadio. All right, so you will be able to visually see us making the drink every week. But for those of you who aren't watching that just want to make the drink, I want to make sure that you get the recipe. So our Brothers Bond moment brought to you by Brothers Bond, who has not sponsored us yet, at least at this point. Okay.
Yeah,
so
we need sponsors.
We need you guys to sponsor us. We've kind of asked this every episode, even though not every episode that we've asked is out yet, but I'm tagging.
Yep. We're tagging.
I'm tagging. I'm hashtagging. And listen,
if I have to start using my phone book, I will, but we're trying to do it.
We have every Brothers Bond that you can get
way.
made. Like every Brothers Bond made. We're making drinks with it. I mean, listen, I'm getting a little buzzed.
Yeah.
I'm getting a little buzzed to put this in. So I'm going to need you guys. Let's do it. Just sponsor us. All right. All right. This week's drink is in honor of Katherine showing up. So this is called the Petrova Sting. All right. So this is a drink that we made, but this is really just a take on a whiskey with hot honey, if you've ever had that, which is like really, really good. So here we go. So the Petrova Sting. We need 2 ounces of the Brothers Bond Rye. So we're going to switch up the Brothers Bond this week. Up until now, we've been using the regular Brothers Bond. We're going to use the Rye this time. Then we're going to use 3/4 an ounce of lemon juice and 1/2 ounce of hot honey. Now, when I make mine, I have the pre-made hot honey. But if you want to make hot honey syrup, you just do 2 parts honey, 1 part hot water, and then put a dash in of your favorite hot sauce. And then just kind of do it to taste. And then we're going to do a 1/4 ounce of ginger liqueur. Or if you want to do ginger beer, I think that would also be fine just for that flavor. You're going to shake all the ingredients in ice, and you're going to strain it over a glass on the rocks and strain it into that. And then enjoy that little burn, okay? Because you're going to get that hot Petrova Sting, all right?
All right, we have reached our Brothers Bond moment in the episode. And this week, we already said for episode 6, we are going to make the Petrova Sting. Now, this requires to have some hot honey. So I already had brought and made a little thing of hot honey at home and already have it in here. Just as a reminder, so we'll go over the recipe. You're going to need 2 ounces of the Brothers Bond Rye. All right. We've been using the regular Brothers Bond. This is going to be the rye version, so make sure you have that. You're going to need 3/4 an ounce of your lemon juice, which I already have poured in here. Make sure there's ice in your shaker. Then our 1/2 ounce of hot honey, which I also already have poured in here. That's going to be 2 part honey, 1 part water, and a dash of hot sauce. I bought pre-made hot honey, so you can also do that. And then we're going to pour 2 ounces of the Brothers Bond Rye and a 1/4 ounce of ginger liqueur. So it's just not a lot, just a little bit to just add a little kick in there. Then we're going to shake it. All right. We can smell it. Smell it. It smells strong. All right. So we're going to just strain that over. Look at that. Perfect. Perfect. The Petrova Sting, everybody. Whew. Oh yeah, that's got a little kick to it. You could definitely taste the hot sauce in there, but the honey helps definitely like kind of make it to where it's not like too spicy. That has a really good little kick. I feel like Katherine would approve. If you make the drink, please hashtag Bloodlines and Backdrops. Make sure you tag at Brothers Bond Bourbon because we want them to sponsor us. Until then, we'll see you guys next time for episode 7, The Haunted.
Next week, it's Halloween in Mystic Falls, and you guys, costumes are not the scariest part. This Halloween party turns deadly. Vicki's new reality hits hard, and Elena learns that walking away from Stefan is not as easy as it sounds, especially with Damon still lurking around. We want to say thank you guys so much for joining us again for your Vampire Diaries rewatch with receipts. If you have thoughts on the episode, please use the hashtag Bloodlines and Backdrops. We would love to hear from you. If you make the Brothers Bond cocktail, tag them, tag us. Make sure that you share it. We want to see that your cocktails. We want to see your reactions to the show. And until next time, we just ask that you stay safe, stay vampy, and remember, in Mystic Falls, nothing is ever as it seems.